second, now let me explain. See, I'm not trying to take you down, I'm trying to take away pain. Try my best to refrain from being the same as all these other low lifes that probably don't remember your name. And all your exes sitting left, I'm trying to home run. Trying to make you happy, make a difference in the long run. So trust me when I say I'm swollen shut. I'm spilling out my heart because you opened up and now I'm going dumb when we touch. Yeah, I'm not saying that we're picture perfect, but I'm saying that we fit proportion. I'm showing you that we're more than love because of lust, not hidden behind the curtain. I'm telling all the facts, don't ask me because I'm certain. It's certain we both come from hurt places, but you don't have to tell yourself that that's the reason why we're in relation. I'm just trying to see a smile on your face and make this chapter permanent, no need to change your pages. I see a smile on your face. You always say I'm changing, but I only change the pace. You're following your dreams, and I know I do the same. But see, lately you're the only thing I'm needing that I chase. And I hate the fact that you only listen to what they say. I've never been the type to listen, now they hit the replay. It's funny how these things happen, never had a delay. Cause everything I'm seeing comes to life, and I don't see fake. I only see the real in you, probably why I fell in. I'm writing all these letters, you would think that I'm a felon. I'm going crazy, always buying what you're selling. And yeah, I know I'm stubborn, I hear nothing like I'm Helen. But once I make it, you'll have everything you want. I'll put you at the top when I get on. Yeah, I just wanna put the queen of buddies' pawns and carry out the story when you're gone.
Good evening, Bitcoiners from the UK. It is 6 p.m. London time. Welcome to all my Bitcoin buddies from around the world. It is the 25th of March 2021. And as always, to start the show, strong Bitcoin hand. Do you need a strong hand right now? Yeah, absolutely. Name of the game on this show: buy some Bitcoin, get some skin in the game, get off of zero, get it off an exchange onto your chosen hardware device, and then wait. Don't look at the charts all day, every day. If you do, you'll see what's going on at the minute and you will be freaking out, people. You don't need to freak out, and I'll show you why in a second. But I want to just quickly head over to the chat and give a shout out to some of my regulars. I can see Rocky Palumbo's in the house. Welcome, Rocky. Kristen coming in from Texas. As always, Kristen, great to have you here. We've got Yorkie Bitcoiner in from the UK. Michael Webber from the UK. We've got Jason Chu, Jake Mullin, Proud Zionist Jew, aka Adam Meister, the Bitcoin Meister, is in the house. We've got JT Borta coming in from South Africa. Paul Rouleau is in the house. Great to have you with us, Paul, as always. And if you join and I haven't given you a shout out and you want to shout out, simply type in UK Bitcoin Master and I will gladly give you a shout out. Welcome to my lovely wife, who's just joined the chat, Elaine, Mrs. UK. Great to have you in the house as always. Need you, you're my moderator. So everyone, pound that like button. Right, who is Yorkie Bitcoin? Hi, Michaela. Who's Michaela? Where have I missed that one then? Okay, hi, Michaela, if you're in the house and I've missed you. Yorkie, I see you saying hello to somebody there. If you're brand new to the channel, very important, right now you go down here and you read the disclaimer because it is just going to disappear. No financial advice here. Anything I'm going to say on the show as we go forward is not financial advice. It is just my simple opinion. Check out ukbitcoinmaster.com for all my videos, bitcoininterviews.com for all the interviews that I've done. There probably won't be a live interview next week, and I tell you why on Monday. I won't go into that right now. Also, check out my podcast. Somebody said to me the other day or earlier today on somebody else's show, I can't seem to find your podcasts. I've got a domain name, UK Bitcoin Master Podcasts with an S on the end, .com. But for some reason at the moment, it is not linking it to anything, even though I've linked it to my podcast. So you'll find me on Anchor Podcast at UK Bitcoin Master for those that want to follow the podcast. And it's really interesting because many of my now live guests in this chat have come via podcast. So obviously something good going on over there. Finally, for anybody that does want to drop a lightning tip, there you go. There's my tippin.me address. In the show notes right now, there is a BTC address. If anybody wants to drop a tip, don't. I encourage you not to drop a Bitcoin tip, but some do. There is obviously a link over there to my tippin.me address as well. There is also a link in the show notes as well as in this chat to my backup channel, UK Bitcoiner. Subscribe there in case this channel goes down. I won't just bore you with those constant details of why, but my channel has been taken down once already. Don't forget, if you're new here, if you're watching this in the future, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, but then next to the subscribe button to the right, you'll see a bell button. If you click that bell button, you're not done. You then need to click all, and you'll be notified when I go live twice a week, every Monday and every Thursday at 6 p.m, 1800 hours here in the UK, bar emergencies, death, something of that nature. And I'll explain something about that on Monday's show. Elia Epping, good to have you in the house. Great to see that you have joined us. Don't forget, people, if you want to shout out, if you want to ask a question, type in UK Bitcoin Master. It'll light up in orange and I will see it. Kristin's niece. So, Kristin's niece. I've forgotten the flipping name now. Where was it? Hold on. I want to give you a shout out for sure. Michaela. I think it's Michaela. Welcome, Kristin's niece. Great to have you in the house. So what I want to do without further ado, let's get into the show. Let's get over to the desktop and let's see what is going on. Before we do that, I just wanted to stretch this a bit for a moment. Let's get over there. Okay, so who's freaking out? Who's freaking out because the price is tumbling downwards? We're just above 51k. Who's freaking out because they're excited because they're buying Bitcoin on sale? Right now, people, check your demeanor, okay? Because when Bitcoin is this price, when it tumbles, when it corrects, we want to mop it up on sale. You want to get Bitcoin at a cheap rate. Why do I say that if you're brand new to Bitcoin? Because you are going to have to get used to, I think you can see my cursor, these corrections. And if you go back, if you're new, to the 2017 chart, you'll see that during the bull run of 2017, there was something like 5, 6 or even 7 20% corrections on the way to its high of 20k. And there's going to be corrections on this year's run up to 100k and beyond. And as Rocky Palumbo says, BTFD, by the flipping dip is what I say. But look, if you're looking at the chart right now look what happens if I zoom out, and you will see, people, that all is good. It is just correcting, then it will go on its way. And if I get over to the articles that I've got for you today, here's the thing I want to point out to you all. This one said Bitcoin surges as Elon Musk says it can be used to buy Teslas. Excuse me, water. Okay, well, so it surged and then it corrected. And I personally don't think tweets like this and these types of articles anymore are having such an effect on price. I might be wrong. Listen, I'm just me from the UK, some crazy Brit who wants to talk to people for some absurd reason, come in my chat and want to hear what I've got to say, and heaven knows why, but you do. So I'm just sort of sounding off live instead of doing it at home in my office, and I'm just feeling that perhaps as Bitcoin gains momentum and more institutions come in and more general mainstream acceptance occurs, you're going to see less and less of tweets or articles like this that then affect the price for any considerable time. I might be completely wrong. It's just my own personal opinion. But, I just don't take any notice of these articles, and you're going to see FUD articles. I've been out there. There's, is this it? Is Bitcoin going to correct back to 44K and then go down? Just ignore them, people, for the reasons I've just talked about over the last few minutes, because it will correct and you will have sell-offs, and then it consolidates, and then if it carries on like it has done in the past, it will correct. It will then go on another rally. It will go up. It will surpass the previous all-time high and some. Then it will correct again, maybe sideways, consolidate, then maybe go off on a run again. This is what we predict is going to happen. Predict is the wrong word. This is what tends to happen if you look at Bitcoin. If you're just getting into Bitcoin, what you need to do is build a strong hand, a strong Bitcoin hand, or a strong stomach to deal with the corrections and learn about them as quickly as you can, because they're going to happen. You're going to experience them. And if you think a correction's bad now, say 10, 14%, whatever it is, 20%, think of that same percentage when Bitcoin's $500,000. And then see 10 to 20% wiped off of its price in a heartbeat. And we're pretty chilled out about it. Why? Because I don't look at the charts all the time, and you blink a day or two later, somebody sends you a message, Bitcoin's pumping again. And it's this emotional roller coaster that people jump on. And like Proud Zionist Jew has put in the chat, you need a strong Bitcoin hand. If you can't stomach the swings, the highs and the lows, get out of Bitcoin. It ain't right for you, because until this becomes potentially, a world reserve currency, or it becomes the store of value, the chosen store of value by institutions, nation states, family offices, governments around the world, it is going to be volatile, and you're going to need to deal with it. I saw this one, The Times in the UK. I think it was The Times that ran the original article on the Genesis, that's in the Genesis block from when Bitcoin kicked off, saying about Chancellor on the verge of bailout, something like that. I think it was The Times, I might be wrong. But so they're now looking to hire a chief financial officer who has comfort with Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies. Media company The Times is hiring for a crypto-friendly chief financial officer, per its LinkedIn post, with a focus on building a better future in the current environment where the media industry is undergoing rapid evolution. One of the requirements for the CFO is to have a comfort with Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies to guide Time's transformation. As we have been seeing ever since MicroStrategy put Bitcoin on its balance sheet in the second half of last year, the corporations like Tesla and Square, amongst many other smaller ones, have jumped on this trend to protect their funds against fiat debasement. It is possible that the Times will release a similar announcement of adding the leading cryptocurrency to its treasury. You are going to see more and more of this. We are going to see more and more of this. It is par for the course. You've got to dollar cost average, get what Bitcoin you can, and then it allow to do what it's going to do. Because what most people are doing, they're watching the charts daily or weekly. As Michael Saylor says, if you've got any sense around this thing, you're not looking at hourly, daily, weekly, monthly, or even quarterly Bitcoin charts. You should be looking annual and decade, or maybe annual and every 4 years. Learn about the 4-year cycle, the highs, the lows, the bull runs, the bear markets, the sideways markets that we had in 2018 and 2019, where everyone was frustrated because just Bitcoin was down and it wasn't going anywhere and it was moving sideways. Go back and check my archives at ukbitcoinmaster.com, and you'll find that I've been bullish all the way through those 2 years of the bear market, people, because I learned very quickly about the 4-year cycle, or the 210,000 block theory. And you need to go through that. Lizelle, welcome to the show. Great to have you in the house. Matt Underhill from the Bitcoin Book has joined us. Welcome, Matthew. Great to have you in the house. So all of this is designed to help you, the noob or the intermediary, And I'm telling you, even if you think you're a Bitcoin bull or a maxi, when that thing goes over 100, 200, 300,000, you got to learn how to stomach those 20% pullbacks. Those red candles that might drop 10 to 20,000 in one red candle, and know that that's par for the course and normal. You just need to hold your Bitcoin. Focus on life, focus on your family, going to work, smelling the roses, enjoying where you live, enjoying your grandchildren, whatever you do, and not putting all your damn focus on what's happening on the Bitcoin chart today. Okay, whoops. Here's one I found. Bitcoin ad banned in the UK for misleading pensioners. Look, it depends what they're saying, really. I think what the article is saying, that the FSA, or the Financial Conduct Authority here in the UK, they are going to become what we refer to as anal retentive about what you can and can't do, what you can and can't say. It was really interesting. I didn't realise until I started following Max Kaiser and Stacey on their Kaiser report, which I personally really enjoy. And they lived in the UK, and they said the UK freedom of speech is way worse than even the US. And, when they were running their media here, the BBC said, you can't say this, you can't say that, that's too left wing, that's too right wing. And they said it was a total nightmare. So I guess Zaza's in the house. Welcome, Zaza. Great to have you with us. I guess that is what this article is probably referring to. I did highlight something to read, but I think the highlights disappeared. Yeah, what the hell's that about? Let's just read it then. An ad for cryptocurrency. Here, let me highlight it. Exchange has been banned for irresponsibly promoting investments in Bitcoin. The Advertising Standards Authority, the ASA, said the campaign, I think there must be another article on coming up, which is the FSA, something like that, said the campaign had targeted pensioners who were unlikely to know much about the topic. Well, that's pretty obvious. My in-laws in their mid-80s, they don't know anything about it because we don't want to try and explain it to them at this late point in their life, where they go and get freaked out, frightened off, and think, oh, don't do it, or we're worrying about what you're up to. So at that late stage in their life, we're not ramming it down their throats. We're not talking to them about it, so I get that. But, equally, everyone has to take personal responsibility, and, an ad, also has got to take responsibility for giving the right information out. Otherwise, it could definitely mislead. So the watchdog drew attention to the use of the phrase, "There is no point in keeping your money in the bank." Now that leans towards protecting the banks and standing with the banks, I guess, doesn't it? And it said a disclaimer printed in small print was insufficient to counteract the overall message. So that is why people that have pointed out about my disclaimer, I spend time bringing it to people's attention and not having it in light grey down in the corner where you can't see it, because I live in the UK and these people are... So my disclaimer is abundantly clear that I'm not giving any type of financial advice, and that is why I do it. So there's an ad in the UK that's been banned for Bitcoin. We also talk about, people say, well, how can I get Bitcoin and avoid KYC? And I hear, commentators talking about, meeting up with somebody and exchanging pounds or dollars for Bitcoin. Well, here's maybe one of the reasons why you don't want to be doing that. Armed criminals who pose as Bitcoin buyers stole $5,000 from a 26-year-old man in Argentina. So it is still out there, people. In-person crypto robberies are becoming a global issue lately for the authorities, and this time Argentina is the place of the latest case reported. In Mendoza, an unnamed man was assaulted by two criminals who posed as Bitcoin buyers. I guess what I'm saying there is, if you're going to do this, just be careful. Ensure you're meeting in a public place. If you're going to do that, personally, I don't want to do that. I don't want to risk doing that. But of course, some people do actually do that. So people, just be careful out there. And then we've got Wirex suspending their registration for UK customers after, this is the one, the FSA, the Financial Conduct Authority dialogue. Now, it doesn't say why they've suspended it, apart from there was some dialogue going on. So, hang on. London-based digital payment platform Wirex has halted sign-ups for its services for UK users. The move comes on the heels of a constructive dialogue with the country's Financial Conduct Authority. I guess, again, the FCA have said, you need to do this how we want you to do it, otherwise we're going to stop your trading. So, Wirex being a company that, need to abide by laws and regulations because it's centralized, is going to abide by that. I don't know what direction it's maybe likely to take. But equally, I tried Wirex out, and I mean, you can only do it from a credit card, I believe. It wouldn't accept my debit card. And I did a small amount to test it out. And I think I bought $10 of Bitcoin, and they charged me $10 in fees, and it was like $8 in fees. It's pounds, actually. Never again. Never again. But I'm just bringing it to your attention for those of you that are based in the UK, because it is news. Very quickly, if I may, Matthew's in the house. Great book. If you're new to the channel, check it out. The Bitcoin book on Amazon. It is a great book for beginners, a great book to give to somebody you're trying to get interested in Bitcoin as a gift. You can find it on Amazon, Kindle, or the book. I've read the book twice. Really good book. I think a great lead up to the Bitcoin Standard by Saifedean Ammous. So worth checking out, people. If you have read it and you're in my chat and you're a regular, please go to Amazon if you haven't and leave Matthew and the book a review. I know Matthew would greatly appreciate it. Some tweets. Again, Elon Musk, you can now buy Tesla or Bitcoin. Well, that's old news. By the time I get to do my show, it's been out several days. Clearly, we're 24th. Oh, it was only yesterday. But pay by Bitcoin capability available outside the US later this year. So that's a big deal for people like us that are out in Europe. So again, ignoring the short-term price of Bitcoin because it's, got several red candles and it's correcting, look at the fundamentals behind it. Look at what's going on. Elon Musk, 1.5 billion into Bitcoin. There's talk, hearsay. I mentioned it on a previous show that maybe with Tesla, with SpaceX, and with Musk himself, maybe there's intimation that they probably own way more than that, maybe around 5 billion. That's not confirmed. Kristen, thank you for leaving Matthew a review. I know he will greatly appreciate that. Stuff like this is just very, very bullish for the overall movement in an upward direction of Bitcoin. Excuse me. Okay, Essence of Satoshi, love that one. Learning delayed, Meister's saying, I got this from Adam Meister. Learning delayed gratification has to be one of the finest consequences of holding Bitcoin. I wonder if Satoshi knew about the psychological impact it would have on people. What does that mean? It's making people think more about, do I want to go and buy that item now? Instead, if I held off, delayed gratification and put it into Bitcoin, what might that deliver me? And I'm going to give you a live example right now. A couple of years ago, many of our followers know that we came into a large windfall and decided to put the majority of it into Bitcoin. I won't go into how much, but we put it into Bitcoin. And I was thinking of getting a new car because my car was getting old. And because of Bitcoin, I had a conversation with my lovely wife and said, what if I don't and I hold off and look after the one I've got and I put that into Bitcoin? And I did, and that has 11x'd. 11x'd, people, and it's still in Bitcoin. There's a classic example of we want to go and get something and we really could, in quotes, delay gratification and then see what that does. And that's a pretty darn decent amount on that money that I was going to spend on a depreciating asset. You see, what Bitcoin is now doing is it's intrinsically making humans save again, which I think is fantastic, because when I was a child, we were taught to, save for a rainy day. Okay, put some money by for the future, build up a little nest egg so you might be able to retire early. Well, that never happened for most people. I've got a friend of mine that worked for the BBC who piled every single penny he had into 3 private pensions. He was a graphic designer at the BBC. He worked 24/7. The idea was to retire around mid-50s. And when his pensions became available, private pensions at that, they weren't even worth 1/3 of what he was promised. So don't buy into that. And I think, the millennials, etc., are not buying into that narrative anymore. Lambo now, Ilya says. No, Lambo down the road, but not Lambo here. Aston Martin, sorry. But down the road when Bitcoin has mooned, for sure. The point is, there is a psychological impact on us all when we get into Bitcoin and we start to understand it. We realize that we don't want to spend the most pristine asset humanity has ever seen on a depreciating asset until the time is right for that. Tyler Winklevoss from the Winklevoss twins. Fed Chairman Jerome Powell says Bitcoin is a substitute for gold. This is the chairman of the Federal Reserve in the US saying publicly that Bitcoin is a substitute for gold. Now, this is my own personal view. Bitcoin approximately $1 trillion market cap. Gold approximately 10 trillions. I personally think we will eat up gold's market cap in anywhere between 2 and 5 years. Could be less, don't know. But I think we will eat it up. And then we're going to go after everything else that's out there in terms of money that's losing its value. Michael Saylor refers to it referred to his money losing its value as a melting ice cube. So massively exciting, really bullish when people like Jerome Powell says something like that. Dan Held, very respected. Now listen, his thread said, don't buy Bitcoin for yourself, buy it for your kids. And this lady responded, or real crypto, housewife of crypto, I guess it's a lady, we don't know these days, it could be just a picture put up there. Done. Each has 1 Bitcoin that we bought at their births in 2014 and 2016. Whoever you are, Mrs., way to go. Absolutely top drawer. Can't fault you one bit for doing that. That's the name of the game. Enjoy it while you're alive, but do it to look after your family's futures for generations to come. Jerry, welcome. Great to have you live in the chat. You did say you would try and make it. Superb to see you live in the chat. Here's another one from Eric Wise. Who is selling Bitcoin 1 week before Morgan Stanley finally offers it to their 5 trillion of capital that's been demanding access to Bitcoin? Think about that. When you've got companies like Morgan Stanley, one of the biggest banks in the US and in the world, saying they're going to allow their high net worth individuals access to Bitcoin, what do you think that is going to do to the market? Absolutely phenomenal. So I love finding these bullish tweets. And the idea with my show is to get you all in a bullish mindset, no matter what is going on with the price, because the price is just short term, people. If you have come into Bitcoin and you expect it to go up, you are bonkers. There isn't an asset in the world that does that. But if you look at what Bitcoin's been doing over the last 12 years, you'll see that it's pretty well been in a bull run for the last 12 years. And here's a great one that I want to share from Alistair Milne. Now, look at this. How it started, how it's going. Look at the date there on the left. In fact, you don't need to because I've put it up. June the 4th, 2011. A currency that's up 200,000%. Will this new virtual currency actually catch on? Blimey, flipping heck. 2011. That's heading for a decade ago. And this is going to do the same again. Hi, Dan. Welcome to the chat. It's going to do the same again, people. Ignore the short-term price. The only place you want to put your focus is on the fundamentals of Bitcoin, learning about what makes it unique, understanding that, and then educating anybody that will listen on why they should look into Bitcoin and what it is. So, you and me, you know I love quotes. I really love this one from Will Smith. And think about this. If you're absent during my struggle, don't expect to be present during my success. That is so true, isn't it? Because those people that laugh out there, snigger under their breath about what you're doing, it is almost like he who laughs last laughs longest, or, you know, that type of thing. I would never say I told you so. That's not in my nature. I know it is for some, but it isn't for me, you know. But, you know, if somebody's not going to support me on my journey, I don't want them with me when I get to the end of that journey, if that makes sense. Really, really, really love that quote. So people, very quickly, UK Bitcoin Master. I always wear these t-shirts, my merch. Nobody ever asked me about Bitcoin. There's been a couple of late have said, oh, that Bitcoin thing's doing well at the moment, hasn't it? But most people, I have to instigate it saying, have you heard of Bitcoin? Do I worry about that? Not in a million. I really don't. So people, that is your Bitcoin show for today, the 25th of March 2021. For those of you that want to, you can now head on over to Danish and Pubbies Live, and you've only missed 15 minutes of it if you stayed with me. They've gone live, I believe, maybe quarter of an hour ago, so I'll probably nip into their chat as well. I'll be back on Monday, as always, with my regular Bitcoin show, but there might not be one on Thursday, and I'll explain why on Monday. So join me then, 1800 hours London. This weekend, our clocks go forward. So in the US, if you're on the East Coast, you're back to 5 hours behind me. If you're on the West Coast, you're back to 8 hours behind me. So remember that for Monday. I'm going to check out, peeps. Thanks, as always, for your support. Don't forget to subscribe to the UK Bitcoiner backup channel in case this one goes down again, as it's already disappeared once. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter at UK Bitcoin Master. Don't forget, once this thing has had around 24 hours, down here in the corner, there will be the subscribe button. Share this out on whatever platform you're watching it on. I would greatly appreciate it. In fact, I'll leave you with my social media links now. I'm Brian, the UK Bitcoin Master. Strong Bitcoin hand, people. Get in there, Rocky Palumbo. I'm going to check out. I'll catch you all on Monday. Whatever you're doing, have a great rest of your day. Have a great weekend, and I'll catch you all on Monday. Cheers all.